So today I wanted to talk to you about the creativity crisis. But in light of the subject, I thought I would put a little creative twist on it. So there's this thing, it's called the creativity crisis. I don't know about you, but it's a big concern of mine. So while the average IQ score steadily rises, imagination steadily on the decline.
Yeah, you need to put down the ukulele and study for the ACT.
So much for that idea. We'll forget that. This is more important than the ACT. In 2010, Ashley Merriman and Poe Bronson published an article on Newsweek all about the so-called creativity crisis. It turns out that while IQ scores go up 10 points each generation, creativity scores as measured by the Torrance test are falling. While knowledge is still important, creativity is just as, if not more important. In fact, it was voted by CEOs as the most important leadership quality. So why then do we focus more on teaching to the test than fostering creativity? While No Child Left Behind has good intentions, it has intensified efforts of teaching to the test, failed to ensure equal opportunities for all students, put arts, music, and social studies on the back burner, and most notably, it has almost tripled the number of federally mandated standardized tests over the past 10 years. Ironically, despite all our efforts centered around test scores and teaching to the test, we are lagging behind other countries and are sometimes even below average. Our emphasis on teaching to the test has instilled in kids a fear of being wrong and hindered their creative abilities. Maybe this video will illustrate that concept.
I might paint a picture of a clown.
Whoa there, friend, you might need to slow down.
It's as if we tell them to be creative and then scold them for doing it wrong. Now I want to branch off that for a second and talk about the brain. Let's try this again. You know the left brain is good at math, the right brain's better at poetry, but when you use them both at the same time, that's called creativity.
That doesn't sound like practice test to me.
Sorry, Mom. As I was saying, or singing, the left and right sides of our brains serve different purposes, both of which are equally important. The current approach of the school system, with emphasis on standardized curriculum, rote memorization, and nationalized testing, mostly fosters the left side of our brains. What about the right side? By focusing only on the left brain during school hours, we are severely limiting children's creative capabilities. It's not bad to foster the left brain growth while learning science and math, but in the same sense, it's also not bad to foster the right brain growth with greater emphasis on art and music during the school day. But even better is using them both at the same time. Instead of teaching at children, trying to ensure their immediate and short-lived success on filling in Scantron bubbles, we should foster a more well-rounded education that really submerges kids in what they're learning and helps them reach the answer step by step instead of handing it to them. This in turn will fuel their desire to learn, both in and out of the classroom, and better prepare them to take on life outside of Scantron. Isn't children's future infinitely more important than their test scores? If we spend less time pounding facts into their brains and more time encouraging their
Imagination.
it will help all of us in the long run. So what can we do to change this point of view? It seems a question that is long overdue. So let it all go, let creativity flow. Don't let anybody tell you the right way to go.
How many times do I have to tell you? Think about your future.
Mom, you can't see it right now, but I'm bettering my future. The ACT might help me get into college, but nurturing my creativity will ultimately help my future much more. Maybe she just needs to think outside the box. What's your favorite idea?